On Saturday, I battled the elements and was looking forward to continue on Monday. But Monday was even colder than Saturday, and of course, I thought I could battle and struggle with these batteries that would be draining very quickly. Or I could just wait for a little bit warmer weather, and this week we were supposed to get a little bit warmer weather. But other things came up, and one day became 2 days, became 3 days. And so now we're on Friday, so we're almost a whole week later. And unfortunately, I still haven't continued with my stanchion. So hopefully today we will be able to get something going. So for the roof of the stanchion, I was remembering that we still had metal panels that are on this tin can, and these are some spares that were left up in the roof rafters here of the tin can. So for me, I'm gonna have to try to climb up there and see if I can use these panels. So that will be our first project, is to get some panels down, see if they're usable, and that could be the roof. So that's our job, and then hopefully we can continue in the barn. Today's high is around -2 to 4, so not very cold, so it should be a lot better to do some work. So let's get started with getting these panels down. We got 2 sheets down. There's a lot of loose end pieces there as well, but you notice already here the discrepancy that the one sheet is definitely almost a half a foot longer than the other. And I'd like to keep it the same. So I'm gonna have to go back up and try to find another sheet that is similar length. I'm hoping that these are about 8 foot long. We can get a nice extensive roof. And of course we'll have to mount them down properly for the winds. We're back in the barn, where we're now continuing with the build of our stanchion. We had collected some roofing sheets from our other barn called the Tin Can, and now we're mounting the actual stanchion part. So these old steel stanchions originate here in this barn, and there's still a few that I've pointed out to you the other time in the other video. They're still hanging here in this section. So we got a lot of them extra left over when we built this area. We removed the feeding trough, we removed the stanchions, and we got them out, and so we have leftovers, and so that's what I'm using in this build here. So they're a little stiff. They need some oil, they need some work, maybe a paint job, but you're closing the contraption, and you can see here that it all still moves, but it's just a little bit stiffer than what they should be. So once it's closed, you can see that contraption, and it can still move around, but Daisy's head, or whatever other cow we have, is stuck in between. So what we're going to have to build now is a feeding trough here below, so that once her head is through, you can actually feed them and keep them occupied. And while they're occupied, you can either do their medical exam on them, or you can go to the backside and milk them. So that's what we got so far. So this is the basic height of about 5.5 feet. And so this should be good for her. So we can put the roof over top and then build that to keep them out of the rain if it was raining. Now with the stanchion hanging in the correct position, we also have to have a means to feed the animal. So I've been going by the height of our cow Daisy here because she's the biggest, and she'll be the one gonna get milked hopefully this summer. So we're trying to establish a proper height for her food bin. So we have these blue hanging bins that we like to use. And so we're thinking that when she stands on the platform, her head is through the stanchion, that will be probably the ideal height. It's really hard to picture because of course you can see the second plank here is normally where we have our blue bins hanging from. And so it's a calculation about 30 inches off the floor, and we put this crossbar around off 30 inches off the platform. So hopefully this is going to be working out. I used some leftover scrap pieces to mount it a little bit off the pole so that the stanchion can still move a little bit and doesn't bang into the wood and doesn't sit there too tight. So let's hope that this is going to work. Otherwise, we're going to have to make adjustments as we go along. But one of these times, we're going to have to try it out and see what we can do. So this is for now what we think is the best solution. So I hope it works. And we'll go from there. Daisy here is a Holstein. And Holsteins are considerably larger than Oliver, our Jersey. But the measurements I've been taking, which are very difficult to take because she doesn't really want to stand still when you try to measure her. You're looking at the height of the windowsill and her height, and she's a smidgen a little higher, and then you think, oh, it should be enough. So if I measure off from the floor to there, then I should be able to get there. And then going back to your stanchion, you think, did I build it correctly? Or did I make it too short? So the length of the platform I think is okay. I think that's pretty doable. The crossbar I had for the feeding trough I took off because I'm not quite sure if that's really going to help that close if her head is just sticking out of the stanchion. So when you look at these animals and you see their long neck, it's still a long neck. So you can see here Daisy's eating on the ground, so it's pointing downwards. So yeah, you still need to be a little bit further away from the actual stanchion part. So even though I added this one little piece, I think it's not enough. I think I have to be further away, or somehow the feed trough needs to be lower. So I have to think about that yet. I have to see. Maybe I'll see if I can get the ladies in the house to help me get her on this stanchion and get her through, and then take some measurements from there. But the back posts to do the roof, I think may be too low, because I definitely need probably about 70 inches up from the platform, and with the post mounted to the side of the platform and not on top, you're losing definitely those over 6 inches there. So either I have to buy new posts and take these two out and rebuild, which also means that these 7-footers may be too low, and then I would have to take them out, and then I'm basically rebuilding the entire stanchion. So I think I'm going to have to come up with another solution to maybe do the roof a little higher. But for now I'm thinking I'm not going to do the roof. even though I took the time to get these panels from the tin can and bring them here. Maybe I should just wait and first get Daisy in the stanchion, and then from there we're going to have to try to see if that's going to work. So that will be our job, is to see if Daisy can get in here. Is she willing to step on the platform? Is she willing to go through? We have to practice that and then see if we can make it work. And then we'll have to make new measurements to see where our food trough is going to go. So I'll be thinking about that, maybe look online, see some other ideas to see how we can work with this. After having Daisy try out our stanchion, we've learned already a few things. That it is proper width. She definitely has lots of room to be in here. Then also the length was more than enough, so we managed to do that. That was successful. And even the height of these posts seemed to be okay. Now, I'm not quite sure that when she steps up on the platform to actually go in, still need that ramp. I noticed that was a little bit of a difficult step up. So what we learned is that we need to secure these posts a little bit more, give it a little bit more extra, because her weight and her size, right, can definitely put some strain on it. Then what I originally had thought of using this hook, I'm going to have to make this more permanent. I have to find something that definitely will hold on to that stanchion a lot better than this. I thought it would be handy if I could just easily take it off if I needed to, either to replace it or to fix it or whatever, grease it, paint it. So second to that is that our temporary welded on contraption that I found earlier, that definitely is not working. She already managed to break that off, so I'm gonna have to find a much thicker, more industrial size that can fit in between here and can be mounted a little bit more securely, so that this piece can still move but not swing all the way like it is now. So yeah, there's lessons we've learned. So I think I'm gonna leave the video here for today. We'll have to get back to the drawing board, buy some parts, and see if we can get some stuff organized for the next phase, because this is not going to completely work. We're going to have to secure it a lot better than it is now, and I'm just thinking of how I'm going to solve this problem. So thank you for watching, and I guess we're not going to be done in 2 parts. There's definitely going to be a part 3. So again, if you like our content, give us a like, give us a subscribe to our channel, and stay tuned for the next episode, and we'll see you in the next one.